things are slowing down for now. There's always a bit of some lovely vintage vehicles along here. Look at these. I'm bringing it up to jamming temperature, and then I've got a Good morning. This is going to be a little bit of a different vlog today. So since I came back from Manchester, I've been going on with a few jobs at home, so I've done a little bit of a chit chat about what I've been doing the last few days, general update, and then I've also been to a car boots, my first Lincolnshire car boots this week, and filmed a bit of that. I've been over to the Bateman's Brewery Bands on the Bank event, had a bit of time down there. Went over to the Alford 40s weekend and did a bit of an update on how things are going with the greenhouse and some plants I've been potting on, and also on the first lot of jam making with all the fruit that Neil and I collected recently. So hope you enjoy. So it is a Friday. It's a beautiful sunny day up here in Manchester, and I've just spent a little bit of time in the garden with my friends Sue and Fred, who didn't really want to be on camera, but just having a quick catch up. So they've been really good neighbours and helped me with the Friends of Park group a lot that I used to run when I was up this way. Anyway, and they also looked after a few of my garden plants for me that wouldn't fit with the initial move over and everything. So my car smells amazing at the moment. So I've got this little lot in the back. So yeah, so that is actually a tiny fraction of the plants I used to have, but I did salvage a few bits, so they'll be hopefully popping in the new garden as and when I can, and they'll be coming back with me when I come back to Lincolnshire. So what we're going to do next is I'm taking my friend Sarah. We're going to go over to RHS Bridgewater. So I know Neil's filmed there before, but I don't think we've done anything from the middle of summer at RHS Bridgewater. So I will film a little bit as I go around, but I'll check with Sarah whether she wants to be in it or not and film accordingly. So that's what I'm doing next today. Hello and good evening. This is my third attempt to give everyone a quick update on what's been happening the last couple of days. So anyway, third time lucky. Neil's obviously back at the nurseries, so he's busy working away at his peak season now on the campsite, as you can imagine. Weather's been good, bookings have been good, so that's all great. I've been cracking on with jobs at home. So so Neil managed to finish clearing the back bedroom before he went away. I've now loaded up about half of the car boot stuff into the car, ready to car boot. Was planning to car boot today, but I couldn't car boot today because about 3 days ago our hot water stopped working. It's all very fixable, but just needed to try and track down somebody that was able to sort it for us. So anyway, I managed to track down people that can help, and they came today. So clearly that was top priority over car booting. Anyway, so good news is we now have hot water again. That's all sorted. I'm also going to get some information about changing the radiators and getting the flush done in the near future, so it's good to have that in hand. Going to have a couple of little adjustments to the setup in Barbara's room, so I've been chasing up contacts to get that work underway. That's all going quite well. What else have I been doing? I've been doing a bit of work on the garden, so particularly being grounded today, I wasn't able to go out really, so I just had to grab a little bit of shopping locally for Leah and myself, so we're okay for now. And the dog needed dog food as well, so that's all good. But in the meanwhile, I'll crack on and get a bit of gardening done. So fairly good progress with things. I may, hope perhaps next couple of days I'll try and do a bit more filming, but I've got some little perennial plug plants that arrived just when I came back from my little trip over to Manchester. So they're all potted on now, and it's so nice to have my greenhouse finally looking like an actual greenhouse and new things growing, and yeah, so it's all quite exciting. What else? The blackberries are ready for picking, and I believe might be some plums over at nursery, so I'm going to try and get over there. But I had really quite a lot on my plate, trying to sort out all these other things as well. I had some also admin work to sort out for Neil as well. That's going okay. House is slowly looking a bit tidier, but there's been a little bit of we are making good progress, but there's a certain point you feel like one room kind of looks tidier, but mainly because the boxes that were in another space have been shuffled to yet another space, and we are emptying boxes as well, but on a bad day it kind of feels like we're only really tidying up by moving boxes from one room to another. So I'll be so glad when it's all sorted and we're not just still shuffling boxes. But yeah, it's getting better. It's getting better. And then when I will need to do at least 2 car boots because there's so much stuff. It wouldn't all fit in even the big car. So I am planning to go to one early in the morning. So I might try and film a little bit of that if I can. And see how that goes. And depending how much I shift then, I'll certainly need to do one more, and then we'll see how things are looking after that. So it's all quite exciting. So and so really pleased with the new bench that Neil made for me. But again, a little bit of it's now covered in stuff. It's like right, so that'll have to get sorted. But it says yeah, definitely progress. Still a fair bit to do, and yeah, one day at a time, as they say, one day at a time. Yeah, so yep, and then obviously speaking with my mum about things that need to happen to get things ready for when she comes, so she's quite happy with progress on that. So we are definitely getting there, So that's a little update from me. It's just a bit too late now to film much. I did actually, because I was stuck in the house all day, I just felt like I needed to get out. So I've just been out on my bike for a cycle ride while it was still light. So it's getting quite dark now, so I can't really do any outside filming. But perhaps tomorrow. I did cut some of the grass earlier today as well, being grounded, as well as a bit of gardening. So it's looking a little bit tidier out there. So yeah, all looking good. Onwards and upwards. A very early start for me this morning. The car is rammed and I'm off to Stickney car boot. Wish me luck. I've just arrived at Stickney car boot sale. It is huge. So there it goes. I made a slight rookie mistake. I've brought a drink, I've brought a bit of food. I've not brought a chair to sit on. I think I'm going to regret that anyway. Okay. Anyway, it'll be fine, I'm sure. So I'm going to get everything unloaded and see what happens. 7:30 in the morning. It's been going well. Piles going down. Happy days. Things are slowing down for now. There's always a bit of a rush at the start when you're first getting your things out. It's definitely been worthwhile coming. There's still quite a lot left, but a lot has gone, which is great. So maybe keep it another hour or so, and then maybe have a wander around myself. Last time I got my camera out to say, It's slowing down, but I've sold quite a lot, etc. Anyway, and then I sold a load more stuff, so there's even less left now. And I nearly had a haggle over the camping halogen hob thing, which is quite amusing. The gorilla suit is going to bring joy elsewhere, Neil will be pleased to know. So far so good. So it's gone well this morning. It was definitely worth turning out. It was a very early start. But anyway, it was worth it, which is good. And, so we'll be doing it all again soon. So things are winding down, so I'll give it a wee bit longer. And I think I'll also start packing up. I've just had a rest after my very early start with the car boot today. I've just brought Rasher out for a quick comfort break and a leg stretch. And then it seems there's a little bit of an event on down by the riverbank at the Bateson's brewery. So I'm heading there next. Yeah, Rasher, you gonna say hello? Yeah. Just on my way, I'm walking over to Wainfleet. I can hear music in the distance from this event at Bateson's brewery, which I'm going to go and investigate. I'm just noticing how lovely the early blackberries are this year. Look at that. And some more over here. Do you like a fresh blackberry? Delish. So I'm very close. I just stopped because there's a train about to come at the level crossing, and somebody came very close to either banging their head or the nose or something. They just walked through as the barrier was coming down. I've seen that for real once. It was somebody really bashed the nose in a situation like that. It was not pretty. Not a good idea. So I'm in. Paid my ticket. I've learned a couple of things already, which is bring your own chair, and you might as well come for the whole day because you get paid. You have to pay for the whole day even if you come late. Because I was at the car boot this morning. I walked here, so I've got a very rare chance to have a whole pint of XP, or even XP. I've got a leaflet about brewery tours. Oh, look at that. And we're just waiting for the next band to come on. So from what I've heard, and it seems to be on the programme, it's kind of largely covers of well-known bands. So we'll see how that goes. It's just quite a nice afternoon to chill out anyway. So quick pan of the crowds. Enjoy. So it was a very pleasant afternoon. So I'm just going to have to pop back home and sort some tea. It's actually on until 9 o'clock, so I've got myself stamped old school so I can get back in later. Just outside the co-op in Alford, and I've just popped by to grab a couple of bits after I parked the car, and had a lovely chat with the lovely Glenn who works in there, so shout out to Glenn. Do watch out for this clip when it comes up in a few days' time. I've just spotted we're at St Wilfrid's Church Hall, and they've got a craft fair on today. So we're going to go inside and have a look. Beautiful day. So it's just really nice crafting things in there. Quite a few different things for sale. lady wasn't so keen that I filmed, so I prefer not to. Anyway, but yeah, worth a visit. And apparently they're back at the end of November with Christmas crafts. So that's St Wilfrid's Church here. So rang the bells there a couple of times last year. Can hear some music coming from somewhere. It's coming across the road. Just coming into the market square. I think I found the singer.
Born to be just yours.
Some lovely vintage vehicles along here. Look at these. Noddy and Sooty and Sweet. Lots of people dressed up. Oh, tractor. Jeeps. There's the Lincolnshire Poacher. So if people remember when I last came to Alford with Neil and we bought some fish from the lovely fishman and he said to be here at the 40s weekend with his reggae kitchen, well, here they are. And there's a few people. They're trying to get their lunch at the moment. So it's getting to the end of well, it's actually a really lovely weekend and a really lovely day. The weather's been amazing. The car boot went really well, and then a really fun time earlier at the nurseries picking this year's plums with Neil, so that was quite a giggle. And they went on to the second day of the Alford 40s weekend, which was really nice and really fun. And just about to start cooking tea. Just before I do, I just thought I'd show you what I didn't manage to show the other day when I was busy with the plumbing and all the other things I had going on. So I had some what they call plug plants that I bought a little while ago that came in the post. They come in these tiny little containers, like really, really baby plants. And then as soon as I was back from my trip a week or so ago, they needed potting on into bigger little pots. So that's done now. So they're all, on the whole, doing pretty well. Most of them have survived, just the odd one keeled over. The sun's been pretty hot, to be fair, so what I have been doing, just to shade them a bit when the sun's extra hot, is place this little tray like so in front of them, and then that just stops the direct sun burning them. And then so some plants that are salvaged from the old place. So this is this lovely oxalis that can grow outside as well as inside, so I probably will try and put that or some of that outside. This is actually Barbara's, so that's been rescued and looked after by my good friend Sue until I could get it over here. And then these were just some little babies of mother-in-law's tongue that came off a plant in the conservatory that I've potted on, so I'll probably try and take those to the next car boot. And then peeking out the back, some dying back gladioli that have pulled the bulbs out, and I might just see if anybody wants the bulbs, because I probably won't be using them. And then I know it looks a bit untidy at the moment, but work in progress. But I'll be taking cuttings of this, which is lemon scented geranium, which smells amazing. And then this is my hypericum, which is a little treasure of mine that I'm going to pot on and hopefully collect some seed as well. And then stuck down here, amongst other things, there's a bit of thyme. It's not in the best condition, so I'll just see how that does, whether that'll work or whether I need to buy new thyme. There's a strawberry plant, and there's also a smaller rose scented geranium snugged in there as well. So anyway, work in progress. And so when the plumbers were here, I was using my little manual mower just to cut a couple of the small lawns here at the back, so I could easily stop when they needed to discuss anything with me, so that worked quite well. Yeah, so small steps, but Mr. T, you want to split this greenhouse in half? That's going to be tricky, because I've got obviously the potting bench on this side and then space for growing taller things on this side. So in hope, I had bought a couple of cucumbers that should really go there and grow up tall. Other things, at the moment, they're still hiding behind in the darker part of the garden, because I didn't want them to dry out while I was away, so I still need a plan for where those things will go. And some other little bits that I brought back from Manchester, including some perennial herbs. Oh yeah, and outside we have just remind myself. Oh yeah, burnets. So this is, you can put this in salads as burnets. That's one from the mint family. I forget what that one's called now. It might come back to me. And, if it is, it's faded. Okay. So anyways, definitely one of the mint family. This is another of the mint family. And then that was actually horseradish. There's a foxglove snugged in there. That's a privet that I might put in somewhere. And a sage. And then there's some alpine strawberries. Yeah, and an allium that was my mum's. So pots here, there and everywhere, only because we do not, well, I'm trying to get Neil to agree to some sort of planting plan, and we've got as far as I know what I want, but he's not actually shared that, bless. So I'm not a mind reader, as I keep saying. So I'll try to get some progress on that, because I could do with getting things planted out, but I need to know kind of where to aim for. Although having said that, the ground's pretty hard at the moment, so Might be fun getting anything planted out right now, but anyway, going forwards, we need a plan. Anyway, that's enough waffle for today. Oh, not quite enough waffle for today. One other thing. So, on the way back from Alford, I spotted a while ago another little place not too far from here that sells eggs. We get a little bit low on eggs again, so I picked up just half a dozen. But look at these. Look at that. Are they not the coolest colours ever? So I thought that was rather sweet. And they do fresh green beans as well. So it's just one of the nicest things about being here, is just really, really fresh food literally on the doorstep and being sold at the gate. Fantastic. So on that, I will bid you farewell for now. Good morning. So I've got a very busy day ahead today. I need to do some shopping. I need to pick up some containers. I've started processing the fruit that I picked with Neil recently. So I need to do that before that goes off, and go a quick check up at the doctor's, and then the electrician's coming this afternoon, and then I need to sort out some tea as well. It'll be fine, I'm sure. Anyway, a lot of running around, so I've been up quite early. Just started prepping the fruit, so I thought I'd just share this with you. So this is the first batch. So this is the apricots to make some apricot jam. So I've picked through them, cleaned off take off any stalks, any bits of grass and stuff, give them a wash. I've weighed them, and then I'm just pre-cooking them with the right amount of water so they'll be softened before I add the sugar. And there they are. Looking rather nice. So yeah, so I'll just quickly bring them up to heat before I go shopping. I'm going to get out early to beat the traffic. I've got my shopping list ready. And the other pan's just a bit of porridge for my breakfast. So yeah, gotta get my skates on. See you later. So that was a properly busy run around sort of day on what was also a very hot day. So yeah, a bit short on energy beans by now, and I've still got to cook tea in a bit, but at least that's only a salad. And anyway, a lot of my job's ticked off, so good progress. I just thought I'd quickly show you where I'm up to with this batch of apricot jam. So I've put in some jam jars to wash in the dishwasher ready. I've had to buy extra sugar because there's quite a lot of fruit now to process, so I've got that today. And then the stewed plums are ready for the sugar to be added, so it's more or less 1-to-1 weight of fruit before cooking with sugar. And things like plums and apricots and so on, damsons, there should really be enough pectin in the fruit to cook okay, especially with the stones in there. But I have got some pectin just in case. So strawberries are worse for not setting, but anyway, just in case. And here's how they're looking at the moment. So all nicely stewed down. So there are various ways of fishing out the stones before it's cooked. But actually I find that, personally, I think that cooking it with the stones gives a little bit nicer flavour. It's a richer flavour. So what does happen is once the jam starts fast boiling and coming to temperature and jamming, the stones will naturally float to the surface anyway, and then you just pick them out then. So it's a bit of a faff, but it's just not that bad. So if you do yours differently and you want to comment below, please do comment below. There we go. So I've added in the sugar to the apricots, and they're on a very, very, very low heat. And at this stage, all I really want to do is to get the sugar dissolved. So I'm not sure when I'll actually be able to jam them, and I need to start cooking tea soon anyway, and then see how it goes. Got another errand to do before I finish today. But I'm just starting off. I've got some fresh corn on the cob sweet corn to go with our tea, and also boiling a couple of eggs. So while they're doing, let's just get the sugar dissolved into the fruit. And now I'm going to have a little breather. So my jam making is continuing. So this is now kind of phase 3. So I've had the cooked apricots mixed in with the right amount of sugar and left them soaking overnight. So as you can see, the pan is very full, so I've been stung with that before, that it'll almost certainly boil over. So I've got a second pan, so I'm going to split about half an hour between the two pans and bring it up to jamming temperature. And then I've got a thermometer to check the temperature with, and this is Barbara's handy little measuring jug. It's quite good for scooping the jam into the jam jars, which I've also prepared ready. So fingers crossed it'll go smooth. It's a bit of a slow process this, so it's just being quite patient, waiting for the sugar to dissolve, and then once the sugar's dissolved, I'll split it between the two pans, and then just time while it boils and gets to the temperature. And then the other big job is picking out all the stones. As I say, the stones will float up once the jam starts to get up to temperature. But I'll show you a little bit of that down the line, because this part is slow. So my 2 pots of jam are boiling nicely now, and I've got my thermometer in to check when they're getting up to jam temperature. I have found the thermometer to be not that fantastically reliable, so I also go by the consistency and the sound of the bubbling and stuff that I've just learnt by experience. It means it's probably about right. You can also get a cold plate and put a little bit on a cold plate and just see if it wrinkles, which means it's getting to jam setting temperature. I'll see how it goes with this batch. Smelling good though. Okay, so judging by the sound, these are very close to being ready, but I'm still picking out the stones. So I've got a lot, but I know there's a few more in there. Sorry, steaming up the camera. Oops. Are we back? I think so. So thermometer says not quite there. I'd say very nearly there, but I keep picking out those stones. So some considerable time later, pan 1 is sounding nice and jammy. And on the thermometer, it's pretty much up to where it should be. Right, so that's pan 1 up to temperature. Let it cool a little bit. I'm putting a little knob of butter or a little knob of vegetable fat, and then that just gives it a nicer texture at the end. And then basically I've been using this little jug to help get the jam into the jar. And there is my first jar of this year's, indeed my first ever homemade apricot jam. So there we have it, the first 4 jars of Campsite Warden Wife Jam 2024. So that's the apricot. There's just 2 more lots to go. I have to say, I've had obviously a little taste from what wouldn't fit in the bottles and in the jars. It tastes pretty good from here. So I do hope you enjoyed that bit of campsite warden wife Sandra footage. It's a little bit different to what we normally put out. So so if you have enjoyed it, please do hit the like, and please do subscribe to our channel, and just comment below as well if you'd like a little bit more of this sort of Sandra content, or what sort of things you might like to hear about. We'll have a look and obviously reply to your comments. And it's just this like glorious high summer afternoon here at the moment, just absolutely beautiful day. And back to, we're talking a lot about fruits and jams and things now, because it just is that time of year. So this is where I first noticed that the fruits were ripening up. So some lovely juicy blackberries. You look at those, and so a nice field of ripe corn here waiting to be harvested as well. So fantastic time of year, really, really lovely. And hope you enjoyed me sharing this with you, and speak again soon.